You know, this telephone talking bear taught me a very valuable lesson about collecting, which I will share with you. And as always, before I do, first off, thank you to all the recent subscribers and the old subscribers for getting us over that 500 hump as we now push for the 1,000. And I have not forgotten, in fact, I may post it prior to this, but I will be giving away that Horikawa robot. But I decided I want to fix it. I don't want to give it away broken. So I'm going to probably send it off at some point to the hut. Not probably, definitely. And get him working, because I don't want somebody to have a problem. I want him to have an enjoyable toy, if it's repairable. If not, it'll be a great parts piece. But that'll be forthcoming and hopefully soon. The mail is kind of slow too, so stick with it when I'll post a separate video on that. And anyway, before we get into it, also chill out if it's morning for you. Grab your coffee and put a little frothy foam on it. Make it like a nice cappuccino or something. And if it's night, grab an Irish coffee, get yourself ready for bed. So whenever you're watching this, have your beverage in hand and maybe some nuts, like mixed nuts. Not those ones with the, what are those giant nuts that, I'm trying to think of the name of them, that, they're not macadamia, but there's some nut, this giant nut I can't think of. It's not super tasty, but anyway, enough of the nuts. Here is a Masudaya battery-operated telephone talking bear. And what is the lesson that this thing taught me? Well, a long time ago when I had this particular toy, there was somebody that was really into battery toys and just kept hounding me to sell him the toy. And I said, this is pretty common. Why is it, it's a big deal. I held off, and I probably wasn't even as nice as this one, but it was, and we're talking like over 10 years ago. But anyway, so I ended up selling. I had the brown version and the light version. I don't know which is rare. I tend to think the light version, but who knows in this case. So what it is this is known as the Princess telephone talking bear. And this is the Princess phone. It's not the candlestick phone, which is way more common. And you know something? After I made the trade, it took forever to find a nice Princess phone telephone talking bear. So the moral of the story is that if somebody is really jonesing for something that you have, chances are there might be a little unique feature to it or something special about it that would make you at least do your research. And it's not that it's impossible to find this, but it's pretty hard. So again, when you look through your auctions and things and eBay, you'll see a lot more of the tall candlestick phones than this. And at the time, I thought the candlestick phone was cooler. I still think it's kind of cooler. But anyway, so here is a nice example with a vibrant box. There's a little tear in there, nothing major. The colors are spectacular. And you can see this bear is having a grand old time just yakking away on the phone like we used to. Remember that? Remember being on the phone and your parents yelling, "Get the hell off the phone!" because you were talking to your friends or your girlfriend or your boyfriend for hours and hours and hours, and you had one line and there was no, well, we didn't even have call waiting back in the day, right? They would just get a busy signal. And this is what we would do. Sometimes I'd go in the basement and hide and talk to my friends about, I don't know, like a Zeppelin concert or something crazy, and which friend made like which crazy bong. I did have those friends that made crazy bongs. Just weird stuff like that. And, we had to limit. And remember, by the way, when you did used to talk on the phone, besides the other people would get busy signals, but God forbid it was long distance. And long distance used to be like a county away. So anyway, here is your side panel. And just a little reminiscent, because, this is the era that these toys are from, where some of you may have grown up like that, right? Where you had to deal with things like that, with your parents like yelling at you, "Get the hell off the phone." And chances are your phones probably look like that too. I think we were a little older for the candlestick phones, but they are a good looking phone. I like when people restore them and sort of make them work with contemporary technology. Anyway, so the phone is here, and underneath I noticed you could see the cool little light, so you might be able to access that light if you had to change it. So it's an all-tin phone with lithograph dial. And he's sitting on his, well, I guess this would be his ottoman, padded ottoman. I think they use this flower pattern on a lot of things. And here's your Masudaya logo or trademark. And that's the top of the ottoman. And here is your switch. So nothing spectacular about it. He does have a little glue residue on this ear. It almost looks like I could pull it out, but I don't want to mess with it now because you know what? The fur is not like falling everywhere. Like some of these toys like have a real shedding problem. So anyway, that is a look at the box and the bear and our old, we could reminisce on the old history of talking on the phone. And that was a pretty nice time, mind you. I liked it. I wish I can kind of go back to those old, remember how just those phones felt so good in your hand? The speaker was in your ear. The smartphones are all flat. They're not contoured like these. But anyway, enough of my yammering here. Let's turn this guy on and see if he even works. Oh, wow. Is that just a joyful toy? We didn't even get too many scam calls back then. I don't recall getting a lot of the solicitation that now even comes on our smartphones. You notice? I mean, like we're supposed to have all kinds of protections and yet we get those spam calls that kind of suck, right? They interrupt your day. You're like, who the hell is this? How many numbers have you blocked? And somehow they have the technology to just keep generating new numbers. But anyway, that, my friends, was your battery-operated telephone talking bear with the Princess phone, the cool version. So anyway, if you like the video, thumb it up. If you like this stuff and you're lurking around, subscribe and share it with other people and leave a remark, and I would reply to that. And as always, thanks for your time. I appreciate it greatly. And with that, my friends, I will talk to you later.